Welcome back, everybody. I'm Tricia Austin from Central St. Martin's, and I'm here to introduce Julien de Casabianca. So Julien is a French artist and filmmaker. He's talking this evening about his Outings project, which he developed only a year ago. So what he does, he takes photographs of art and then he releases them into the urban environment, and that's what we're going to find out about. So this has developed into a global project, and Julien's been extremely busy. He's been working in New York, he's been in Islamabad and Ukraine, and he's developed this into a participatory methodology. So, welcome, Julien.
Thanks. Hello. It's what I do in streets when I find a beautiful wall, empty, old. It's my job now to do that all the time. And it started from that. You are supposed to be the people who know what is it. Impression, soleil levant, impression, sunrise, from Monet. And I grew up with this painting in my home. I mean, not with a poster. I grew up with the real one, the original one. It was for my two cousins and me. We lived together with my uncle. It was the secret of the fridge. Because my cousin stolen it from Marmottan Museum. It's money. He take just a knife, take off the frame. No guardians, so we had it at home. Home, it was in Corsica, a little island in Mediterranean Sea, and it's the same culture almost than Sicilia. I mean, people love gangsters, and we have some postcards about gangsters. We said bandits, Corsican bandits, and they are famous in this island. That is my cousin. That is my uncle. And when he discovered the secret of the fridge, he was so unhappy. He said, you can steal what you want, but not art. It was beyond the fridge, not in the fridge. So he organized a deal with police to return this important piece of art. We lose it. It was that too, behind the fridge, and that 9 paintings during 3 years. I was teenager, young. My cousin. 1 year after that, he come in UBS bank in Geneva, and he stole 300 million euro. Better. My uncle told him, you are onto something. We were young. at this period of time, the museum were nothing for us. I mean, for children, you had nothing in museum. Just you go inside and it's so boring. Just one thing was really interesting for us. It's like the guardians. Because in France, guardians were only war veterans with no arm, no legs, half face. It was really like in a ghost train, you know, in Carnival or Funny Fair. It was really, the museum, it was for that, only for these incredible people. And we watching them more than art. It was nothing for us. They killed my cousin, gangster. After that, we had 10 years in jail with my cousin. Place with only men, hate, violence. They said when you wake up, they said when you sleep. Little place, too much people in the little place. Food, you can't imagine. 20 minutes outside by day only. Forced labor, and they no pay. 10 years, but it's not the good word. It's not a prison or jail. It's school. They almost kill us. After school, I became this mix between gangster and artists, and I stolen this building. It was empty at the center of Paris, just near the Louvre. Empty since 15 years. The owner is the city of Paris. They didn't know what to do with. I come by the window inside, changed the key, opened the place for artists, and it's an occupied building, artistic occupied building in Paris now. So it's my way to be in my Corsican islands gangsterism tradition, mix it with art. My uncle, yes, it's him. It's better like that, no? He told me, you are on something. But he was like that when he told me this. Better, no? 1 year ago, 1 or 2 years, I was in the Louvre, in front of this painting, Mademoiselle Rivière from Ingres. And I was really, I felt deeply in love with this little girl. It's a little painting like that. She's so beautiful, and she's painted, she's 12 years old. She's dead at 14. I had like a charming prince pulsion. I wanted to liberate her from the museum. I mean, of course, I'm not my cousin, so I don't want to take the painting, you know. So I took a picture. And I tried to do something artistic with. But there is limits in a painting. You have the wall museum, it's the first limit. You have the frame, second limit. You have the painting, it stops at one moment. And this little lady, she's in jail inside all this limit. So I had the desire to give her a new life, to give back a life to the human inside this painting. And so I decided to go in the streets to do something with. It was just an idea, and maybe the idea had me or me the idea, I don't know, but that started like that. And he told me, you are onto something. This man is so important, so clever and so sweet. Everybody loves him. It's where is the fridge. In Corsica Island, in Calvi, my city. At the middle of the citadel, there is a home. And it was where impression was. 1 year ago, my uncle, after 10 years sick, he called me and he said, come to the hospital. And at the hospital, in the room, he told me, man, too much fights. I want to finish. So, Monday, 10:30 p.m., I will kill myself in the hospital. The doctor is his friend, little city, little islands. And he said, go on the hill, just up this hill where, on the mountain where you can see all the city. Because it's a place where we go all the time to have lunch, picnic, good time. So we did it with my cousins, except the dead one. And imagine, sunset, 10 o'clock, sausage, cheese, crying. Ten 29. So beautiful place. The sea, the sun sets, the memories. And of course we had this question, why 10:30? And at 10:30, fireworks traditional day. We forgot, of course. And he left. So I listened to him. I have something. So I passed it full time. But I was unhappy of this one. She's beautiful, yes, but she's so big and it's not really a good place. A lot of people watch her, but for me, she's not really in life with us. She's like a monster, 4 meters. She's not normal. So I changed my mind and I go to Orsay Museum. Try it big again. Okay, not try it little, better. And it started connection with people because it's a good size. I never hide into paste, so I'm in connection with people and I show them. It's come from your museum. Because they ask me, you did it? No, I can't do that. It's just a picture from the museum with my phone, nothing else. And I did it all the time. Big? No. Hamburg, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York. With the work and the time, I find the good frame and the good equilibrium between the size, between people, and I'm filmmaker normally, I'm not street artist. So photography, it's more my job, it's what I do. And I wanted to have something as photography at the end. So it's two-time work. First time it's, sorry, I didn't, so it didn't change. Los Angeles, New York. So I decided to select this frame all the time, and I have two times, one ephemeral with the picture put it in the street, ephemeral by nature, and the photography I take. And this photography, I made exhibition with it, and we worked on during all the year here in New York, Paris. Paris again, I stay with the museum of the city, of course. We have enough international and mondialization. I go in Paris, in the museum in Paris, I paint in Paris. I stay always local. And when I meet people, we have this discussion about, it's yours already, just you can see now. Delacroix in Paris, San Francisco. Warsaw, Dallas, Hamburg, Dallas again, and started articles, press, and because now a lot of people know this work, and it's an easy act, just wallpaper glue, just prints made at the corner, just at the first printer you can find. Because it's easy, I told two people it's participative. Do it yourself. So people go in museum, here in Dijon, in France, and they paste in the streets. And connection with people immediately. Here in Ukraine, in a little village, with a little museum, there's only 3 paintings inside. One is here now. Cluj in Romania. Islamabad, Pakistan. Oslo. Jacksonville, USA. Easy. You print, you cut the white, you keep only the character. You go in the streets, you make your mix, you choose a wall, glue, paste, and drink. Rio de Janeiro, and press articles, lots everywhere. And that started really to become more work and more buzz, of course, with like, that is a middle post, like 400,000 people and like 1 million clicks. That it was like 2 months after the start. Of course, we grew up and we are in connection with youngs, of course, because it's street art and it's on the internet, but you can see how it's girls, maybe because it's poetic, I don't know. And you know, on Facebook there is more men than in real life, so we have a big disequilibrium. I don't know why, but it's like that. It's not bad. And so it's funny to go with me to paste in Poland because I am famous in Poland. It's like you can't dream that in your life. And so everywhere I go to paste in Poland, there is some people to come to me all the time and to follow me, and they organize like safari to find them. It's funny to live. And it's create a connection between people and art. In Warsaw, they can touch. Rio de Janeiro. This girl have the little shop, and we ask, of course, when we are close than people, can we paste? She's from your museum, yes, and she take care of it. And people go to school on just in front, cross. Paraguay. In Poland, in Gdańsk. I asked to this girl if it was possible for me to paste, but I wanted to paste here, not here, on the other side of the street. And she told me, no, please, I have nobody in this flat since 20 years. I want somebody with me. So she was just at the window, and she came outside, and I pasted her. She lived at like maybe 200 meters from the museum, and she never goes. Now, she was in, of course. Italy, maybe? I don't remember. Paraguay. Jacksonville. Warsaw. Lyon. And youngs take pictures of them they play with. Old lady recognize it. Youngs don't know it, but take pictures and share. Or they're surprised. USA, Times Square. New Orleans, in a poor area where everybody is black. So, of course, I had from the museum some slaves, but you can imagine I'm just white, and I want just to paste slave, me, a white people, on a wall, so it's not possible just like that. I think it can be strange. So I discovered this wall, and I asked to this grandma just in front. I show her the painting, and I said, yeah, you see the situation. I'm white, and he's slave. And she calls all the youngs in the streets, and she took a moment to talk about a shame from her, she told me. It's a shame for us. But we have to assume. And it was possible to paste in connection with people always, if it's possible. I paste all periods. This is an antique in Warsaw too. An angel on a church. This one in USA. It's the first time the police came and asked me to remove. But I said, it's from the museum. Hard for the cop to institution, beauty. And he told me, yes, I see it's beautiful, but you have no the authorization from the owner. Yes, I know, but this wall. And people came in the streets, inhabitants, and came to help me. Man, please, we have to save it. And so the policeman said, okay. And he took a picture and he shared it on Instagram. Police Los Angeles Instagram. We try to paste, of course, some people from where we are in USA, here, Los Angeles, New York. I don't remember, in Brazil, Paris. And of course, it's ephemeral. So there is some acts against. And in Warsaw, it was the start of the buzz. Somebody destroyed all. And with this peak, we had 5 million clicks on Facebook in Poland. And I was in front with the national TV, and they came and they asked me, why are you paste this in a poor area? Do you think poor people are ready for high art? High art. It's strange because I feel like if it's 100% came and take off and scratch it, it's just one person. It's maybe just a young, just he come, he do it. It's funny to do. And if I use the command space to say something, he can use the command space to answer. He don't like, okay, don't like. And honestly, it's incredibly powerful. It's sad and it's beautiful. I love it like that. Better like that. Normally people love it in Lyon. This one in San Francisco, I was just to paste this little thing and a big biker come like 2 meters man full of muscles and he ran against me. Stop! We have too many problems with graffiti. And just when he came and I was afraid to run me, he came and he said, oh, it's so cute. So, of course, it's why we can do it during the day in connection with people because everybody loves it. Because it's just easy art. It's not high art. It's easy. It's our common culture. And everybody loves it, of course. Barcelona, Paris, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Caracas, Venezuela, Geneva. And so now, a lot of museums invite me to paste their collection and to organize an exhibition and to work with youngs. I go just after, just tomorrow I go in Florida for my exhibition and to work with youngs. And currently I have an exhibition in the Musée d'Art et d'Histoire de Genève, and it's always this 4 action or 5 photographic exhibition. Blah, blah, blah. Mural, it's a huge one. And of course, the workshop with youngs consists to go in museum and to have a long discussion together. At the start, my idea, it was, okay, they are young and we can speak like 10 minutes. It was 1 hour of question, answer, non-stop. The idea is, I said to them, you are free. You can choose what you want. No question of knowledge. You can just feel free. Emotion, humor, what you want. In the museum, it's a place of knowledge, yes, but it's too a place of emotion. So feel free to do what you want. And you have just to take the picture with your phone. Everybody can do it, and after we can print. Of course, at this point, a lot of museums are in panic. Pictures. Like I feel like if it's like a vegan museum or raw foodist fundamentalist museum, no picture. Okay, sometimes problem with flashlights, sometimes problem with stupid position of people, and okay. But what they do when they take a picture, it's to share with people they love. It's not just a game. They have an emotion and they want to share. And we are all the time to say, oh yes, but they are not, they don't watch art. They are just to take pictures. Yes, but you take pictures sometime? Photography, it's focusing on something. It's not disturbing yourself. It's focusing. And it's funny to have this idea about people not focused on things in museum because do you think it's the TV who invented the channel hopping? We said in France, zapping. You are in front of the TV and you change millions times like that. It's not the TV who invented that. It was created by a museum. A wall with millions of paintings. When you are in the Louvre, it's channel hopping 300 kilometers of corridors. And watch. It's just not possible to focus. If people want to focus by themselves, feel free. We prepare the glue. Here it's in Geneva, this one. And of course, when it's with Jungs, we do it with authorization of the city. The city gives us all the walls that the city is honor. And they paste. Incredible. This young lady made that. This boy, her mother is named Diana. It's why he chose this one in the museum. Of course, sometimes it's some question about actuality or the sense of what they do, because when a young Arabian boy in the museum told me, I want this one, and what do you know about Syria? What? And Islamic State and what? Like, he was totally disconnected. He was just has all young, like it's horrible and they love when it's horrible. It was just that. For me, at this point, it's come a question about where is the museum in the human map? I mean, we know people love glory, beauty, love, cats. But how museum work for us inside? I mean, how much museum can go deep inside the humans? It's a question for me when I'm to paste in the streets. I have nothing to do with my brain. So for me, it's like a double analogy to do between architecture and urbanism, because museums are involved in question of architecture and more in urbanism, of course. And an analogy between psychologists, analysts, psychiatrists, because art is in our personal history. It's made for a part by our common past, and what is in the museum, it's of course, inside us, because it's made us as civilization, culture. We are people from somewhere, so museums talk to us deeply. My analogy or my question is about you see this difference between psychologists, psychoanalysts, psychiatrists. And I'm talking about museum now. We can make this analogy with the human soul. It's like a city with monuments, avenue, with no-way streets, with poor area. Architecture uses a lot of words, the same words than about human body, arteries, skin for buildings. So if you are so sad and bad and you are just lost in a nowhere street without light inside of you, in a corner of the city where it's not good to go, what do the psychologists? Take your hands, come with me. First in left, second in right, go with me. Here, more light, here it's a garden. He helps you to go outside of the bad streets, but there is still the bad street. The psychiatrist will do the same, but he will build a wall with chemical things to impede you to go back. You can't go back, and if the psychiatrist is good, the wall is just in front of the no-way street. If the psychiatrist is not good, half of your city, you can't go again. And what do the psychanalysts? He gives you 40 minutes of helicopter plane. Just you see your city, and you go back in the same street, of course, but you come back. But after many helicopter rides, you know your city. And you understand why you have a bad area, a streets bad, no lights, poor area, and you understand why you have monuments. Just, you know your city. And it's really easier. You are less lost when you are in a place you know. As a map, just a mental map. My question is about currently, what's museum do? Psychologists, psychiatrists, or psychoanalysts? I see a lot of exhibition exactly like psychiatrists. I take you the hands, I make a wall. It's that. I see a lot of exhibition as psychologists, like they help you, and they give you a way, but the problem is the same. And I dream to see the museum as psychoanalyst, like find a way to go deeply inside you and to connect the museum with your inconscient and not just with your conscient, like exhibition about love, exhibition about this part of story. Okay, it's good to do. But for me, the question about the future, it's how museum can become psychoanalysts. Young, less young, we go in the streets. They do an incredible job. They are just 14 years old. And after that, we organize visits. When we passed with Jung in Geneva, we pasted 100 characters in the streets, all the museum in the street. And we make a map for people. They can find the characters. And we organize a visit. And at the end of the visit, They come at the exhibition here in Geneva Museum. It's outside. And it's just a selection of the best outings in the world. Best. I hope the best. Brussels, Lyon, San Francisco. So normally I use painting older than 70 years, like that. There is no question of who is the owner of the painting. This one is just illegal, but museums are full of illegal paintings stolen in wars on Geneva. Stavanger, Norway. She gives it to her father. Bible. And I use some details sometimes. This one, it's like in a big painting, but it's only like maybe 5 centimeters angle. And normally he fly, here he fall, but it just, because I didn't remember, I used just this detail and I put it on the wall. And or this one, it's in Gdansk. I was invited by the Gdansk National Museum, and that is 4 meters size. And it's come from a detail like maybe 10 centimeters from somewhere here. And that is, it's big, but we can use what we want, and we feel free to use what we want. So now I do bigger and bigger, and it's not, I will make them. It's not already did. In Paris, in 2 weeks, in Warsaw, we can use all periods. And I did it in Hong Kong yesterday. It's crazy, this city, to find some wall. And I discovered that when a city is vertical, the walls are in the sky. And you have shops. It was really hard to find a place, but found. And this one comes from a closed museum. It's closed for years. So we can work with museum closed to give a new life to the piece of art. That is, on my way to USA, I have to go to paste in Tokyo. It is beautiful, no? So that takes a few minutes, and everybody can do it. It's really easy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Julien. I don't know if anybody's got any immediate questions they want to ask or comments they want to make. Maybe I will ask a question then.
Yeah.
So, Julien, you invite others to participate, to work with you, but is there anything that they could do or might do that you wouldn't agree with, that you would think was wrong for your project?
Jesus, Mary. Blockbusters. You can't put the Joconde in Paris. It's absolutely not interesting. So no blockbusters. For me, Joconde, it's a blockbuster. I mean, no, yes, and no Jesus, no Mary, because we paste in poor area, because it's where it's supposed to be museums are always in rich area. We need to paste in poor area. But in poor area, in this world actually, that means a lot of migrants from Muslim country. It's okay. But if I go and if I paste Jesus, what I said, what is the message? So, no Jesus, no Mary. Sometime in Geneva, a young boy wanted to paste Jesus. I said it, what I told you. He wanted to do. Okay. The day after, an old woman called to the museum until the director of the museum to said, I'm like, it's on my building. And this morning it was impossible for me to go to work. True. So, even you have some crazy people, you know, it's always with them the problem. So, we try to stay like, we try to stay sometimes it's the same problem with kings. What does that mean? You want monarchy? You want what? So, yeah. And the problem too, it's when I was to paste in Hong Kong, so this one, it's okay, she's beautiful. This one, okay, have a tea. And this is an emperor, okay? But what I don't know is this man is like Hitler, or I mean, he killed millions of people, or I don't know nothing about the story. So I was I was just to feel a little, okay, I paste that, and I hope it's not incorrect for people who live here. But with this difficult to find walls, I found some boxes.
Thank you. I've got one more here, actually, question, which is about understanding the content. Or so you take the images out, you make them more accessible so people can see them. They're very visually attractive, but they're still not explained. They're still, in a sense, obscure. I mean, these people won't know what these things are, will they? Or will they?
It's art. It's not advertising or information. They have to be connected. I mean, how many songs we love without know what that says because we don't know the language. And one day somebody told you, oh yes, you know this song, it's about that. Oh shit, oh, okay. So it's a sample. As in hip-hop music, they use a part of that, a part of that. We do a mix, we use it. So what is it originally? It's not my question.
Has anybody in the audience got a quick question? Yes, Mark.
It's difficult, if you're from England, not to think of Banksy. Banksy? No? You don't know Banksy? Banksy makes...
Banksy, okay,
Banksy, yeah.
Sorry. No, I thought it was an English word.
No,
Banksy.
It is.
Name,
Anyway.
Yeah.
There's an obvious relationship.
Yeah.
And Banksy has now gone sort of huge and set up theme parks and all sorts of things. I'm just wondering at what point you take this further, or whether you let other people do that. But is the idea that you had and you're still using, do you have other ideas that are growing out of this idea?
Yeah. I'm a filmmaker, and I would like to make an animation with that, but I mean a street animation. I had a discussion with Poland's museum, because in Warsaw, in Gdańsk, in in Krakow, all they invited me to do something. But one thing is funny for me. I would like to work with Gdansk and Krakow, because in the story, they were in war all the time. It's just in peace since like less than 1 century. And in the museum, in these 2 museums, you have lots of soldiers, just in arm, in fight, dead. I would like to take all the soldiers from Krakow Museum, and I would like to attack the Warsaw Museum with them. Best in the streets, you can put an army, 2 days, you remove all, you pass closer from the museum, you take some soldier from the museum, you pass outside to defender, and at the end, fight and dead on the ground. It's the first idea. Another one, it's like I would like to, in this charming pulsion that I had at the start, I would like to use a young princess and just a little pest like that, and put her in the Louvre and make her to go to liberate a young man in a painting and go with him outside and find a wall outside and paste in the wall. So it's sort of animation, sort of movie animation, just it's not 24 pictures by second, it's maybe 24 pictures by month, but it's the same idea to progress with the suspense. Maybe she can do it, maybe not. It's somewhere like that.
In a way, it's like the individuals are actors, and you've given them another kind of stage. You've taken the theatre outside the museum and into a street. It's almost...
I'm sure with your museum, I mean, the museum is just, it's not a choice. You need walls to put them, and you need walls to keep them for the future, that's all. But if you had a choice, museum is just a problem, really. It's just an obligation. It's not a choice. So we see now with 3D paintings and reproduction, we can make exactly the same, so we can put the same in the street, and why not? It's new ways, and we don't know really how to work with that. There's some try somewhere, but this question to have art in museum for the future, it's a big question.
Has anyone put speech bubbles on? Speech bubbles on?
No, I have not that. No, I have as a teenager funny things like mustache, but that's all. Yeah.
We've run out of time.
Yeah.
So I'd like to thank you very much. That was fantastic.
Thanks.
Okay, so we're at the end of our first day. Thank you very much for such an interesting day, and I kind of feel in this last session we've kind of come full circle, actually back to the start of the day. We start again in the morning, and we have a social event tomorrow evening at the University Gallery, to which everybody's welcome. And for those speakers who are joining us, who are joining Adrian Cheng this evening, we have laid on transport for you. So if you are going to that reception with Adrian this evening, then all you need to do is gather in the foyer, and some of the team from the foundation will show you where you need to go. Okay, but thanks for a wonderful day, and I hope you'll be back in the morning.